In the grand theater of life, where challenges and stress act as both stage and script, the Stoics present a provocative script. Greatness emerges not from avoiding stress, but from embracing and mastering it. Imagine a gem, hidden deep within the earth, requiring immense pressure to reveal its brilliance. Similarly, Stoic philosophy suggests that true greatness is forged through the crucible of life's pressures and struggles. Seneca, the Stoic sage, captures this essence with profound simplicity. Just as a gem cannot be polished without friction, nor can a man be perfected without trials. In this perspective, stress and adversity are not enemies but essential sculptors of character and virtue. To tread the Stoic path, you must first harness your inner power. Begin by mastering your mind and your reactions to both internal and external events. Through daily practice and self-discipline, refine your habits and impulses. Only then can you walk the path of self-mastery with unwavering focus and mindful attention. Embrace the trials that life presents as opportunities for growth and transformation. This journey is neither easy nor short-lived. It is a lifelong pursuit of continuous improvement and adherence to virtues. Thus, greatness is not a destination of ease, but a voyage through the storms of adversity, shaping you into the person you are destined to become. Lesson 1: Present Focus. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast ocean. The waves rolling towards you represent time, past, present, and future. Most of us spend our lives with one foot in the past, haunted by regrets or memories, and the other foot in the future, tangled in worries, hopes, or anxieties. But the Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, insisted that the true essence of life unfolds in one place only, the present moment. This lesson in present focus is about mastering the art of living right now, fully and completely, without being dragged back into yesterday or pulled forward into tomorrow. Stoic philosophy teaches us that both the past and the future are illusions. They either no longer exist or have yet to exist. The only reality is the present moment, and how we choose to act within it. The intrigue lies in this. When you practice present focus, you tap into an immense reservoir of power that most people overlook. The Stoics believe that all the power and wisdom you need exists in this moment, the moment in which you can choose your actions, shape your thoughts, and exercise your will. This approach to life makes you agile, resilient, and centered. Think of how Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who carried the weight of an entire empire, used this principle. Despite the chaos surrounding him, war, politics, betrayal, he repeatedly brought his mind back to the present, writing in his meditations, "Do not let your mind run on what you lack, but count your blessings." By focusing only on what was directly in front of him, he was able to govern not only an empire but also his own mind, the most difficult empire of all to rule. Present focus helps you escape the traps of regret, self-pity, or anxiety, allowing you to act with clarity and purpose. It gives you the courage to face the now, to embrace it fully, knowing that in this moment lies your true self, unburdened by the ghosts of the past or the phantoms of the future. Every time you catch your mind wandering, remember this: the future is an unwritten page, the past a closed book. But this moment, the now, this is where your life is being written. Make it extraordinary. Lesson 2: Embracing Change. Picture life as a river, constantly flowing, twisting, and shifting its course. You cannot stop the current, no matter how hard you try. This is the nature of existence, a truth the Stoics understood intimately. Everything in life is in a state of flux. To resist change is to fight against reality itself, but to embrace change is to become one with the river, moving gracefully with the current rather than against it. The Stoic idea of embracing change transforms this inevitable flow into an opportunity for growth, wisdom, and freedom. Marcus Aurelius writes, "Observe constantly that all things take place by change." He didn't just tolerate change, He saw it as the natural order of the universe. The leaves fall, the seasons turn, and empires rise and crumble. So too, we experience change in every moment, whether it's the passing of time, the loss of a loved one, or even subtle internal shifts in our desires and thoughts. This lesson in embracing change is more than just accepting the inevitable. It's about seeing the beauty in impermanence. Imagine the fleeting moments in life: a sunset, a flower in bloom, a conversation with a friend. These moments are precious precisely because they are temporary. Change, rather than being an enemy, becomes the very force that gives life its richness and depth. Intriguingly, the Stoics believe that change is essential for personal transformation. By accepting that nothing is permanent, we free ourselves from attachment and fear. Epictetus reminds us, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When we stop clinging to the way things were or worrying about how they might turn out, we can face life's challenges with calm, flexibility, and strength. Consider a tree in the wind. A rigid tree will snap when the storm hits, but a flexible one will bend, adapting to the force of the wind, and survive. In the same way, when you embrace change, you develop resilience. Change becomes your teacher, showing you how to evolve, how to let go, and how to find opportunity in uncertainty. Embracing change also means embracing yourself as a work in progress. Each experience, good or bad, becomes a brushstroke on the canvas of your life, adding depth and color. You are not the same person you were a year ago, or even a moment ago. And that's the beauty of it. You are constantly becoming. When you truly embrace change, you are no longer a passive observer of life's unpredictable twists. You become an active participant, moving with the rhythm of existence, not fearing what may come, but dancing with it, knowing that each change brings with it the potential for new insights and deeper understanding. So, the next time life shifts unexpectedly, don't resist. Instead, embrace the opportunity it offers you to grow, to adapt, and to evolve. In change lies the secret to resilience, and in resilience, the key to inner peace. Lesson 3: Emotional Resilience. Imagine you're standing in the middle of a storm. The wind howls, rain lashes against your face, and the sky seems to be tearing itself apart. Yet, in the midst of this chaos, you stand calm, grounded, and unmoved. This is the power of emotional resilience, a Stoic superpower that allows you to weather life's emotional storms without being swept away. For the Stoics, emotional resilience is not about suppressing or ignoring feelings. Instead, it's about mastering them, allowing emotions to exist without letting them dictate your actions. In this way, resilience is the art of controlling what you can, your reactions, while accepting what you cannot, external events. It's the strength to remain composed when life throws its curveballs, and the wisdom to know when to let go. Epictetus, one of Stoicism's great teachers, puts it plainly. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The Stoics knew that life was full of suffering, loss, frustration, and disappointment. They didn't deny the reality of these emotions. Instead, they practiced emotional alchemy, turning every negative emotion into a tool for growth. Consider this: every frustration is an opportunity to practice patience. Every heartbreak, a lesson in detachment. Every moment of anger, a challenge to cultivate self-control. Emotional resilience is not about never feeling upset. It's about using those emotions as raw material to build inner strength and character. Picture a blacksmith forging steel in a blazing fire. The fire doesn't destroy the metal, it strengthens it, making it more resilient. In the same way, each emotional challenge we face can either weaken or fortify us, depending on how we respond. The Stoics embraced this metaphor, seeing life's hardships as the heat that tempers our soul. Now, here's where it gets intriguing. Stoic resilience doesn't just apply to the big, life-altering moments. It's also practiced in the small, Everyday irritations. When someone cuts you off in traffic or a colleague says something rude, these are micro opportunities to flex your resilience muscles. Instead of reacting impulsively or emotionally, you can pause, take control of the situation, and respond from a place of calm power. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, dealt with immense pressure and the chaos of ruling an empire. Yet, in his private writings, he continuously reminded himself to stay steady, to meet every challenge with grace. He called upon himself to be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved, and the raging of the sea falls still around it. His resilience didn't come from indifference, but from deep internal mastery. How do you cultivate this emotional resilience? Start by observing your emotional reactions. Notice when frustration, sadness, or anger rise within you. Instead of immediately acting on these emotions, pause and ask yourself, is this in my control? If not, why let it disturb your peace? This practice creates space between stimulus and response, giving you the power to choose how you engage with the world. A key Stoic practice for building resilience is called premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. By mentally preparing yourself for the worst possible outcomes, you can reduce the emotional shock when challenges arise. It's not pessimism, it's emotional training. By imagining life's difficulties ahead of time, you equip yourself to handle them with grace when they inevitably come. Finally, resilience isn't about isolation. It's about developing an inner fortress that nothing external can breach. By building emotional resilience, you create a space of peace within yourself, no matter what's happening around you. Whether it's a minor inconvenience or a major life setback, Stoic resilience teaches you to remain unshaken, strong, steady, and always in control. In the end, emotional resilience is a form of freedom. It liberates you from the tyranny of your emotions and the chaos of the external world. You become the calm center of the storm, unmovable and serene, ready to face whatever life brings with wisdom, courage, and an unyielding sense of peace. Lesson 4: Self-control. Imagine having a superpower that allows you to master your impulses, to rise above distractions, and to make decisions not driven by fleeting desires but by an unshakable inner compass. This is the essence of self-control in Stoic philosophy, a discipline so profound, it was seen as the key to true freedom. For the Stoics, self-control was about far more than just resisting temptations. It was about ruling oneself, being the sovereign of your mind and emotions. In a world full of chaos, distractions, and unpredictable events, self-control is your shield and sword, the tool that enables you to navigate life with clarity and purpose. Imagine this: your mind is like a chariot pulled by wild horses. These horses represent your desires, emotions, and impulses. Without self-control, these forces drag you in every direction, toward distractions, anger, overindulgence, or fear. But with the reins of self-control firmly in your hands, you guide the horses, keeping them on the path that aligns with your values and goals. This wasn't just theory for the Stoics, it was a way of life. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, lived in the heart of Roman decadence, a city full of excess, luxury, and temptation. Yet, amidst this wealth, he practiced restraint, advocating for a life of moderation. He wasn't against enjoying life's pleasures, but he insisted that true joy comes when you control the pleasures rather than letting them control you. Think about it. How often do we let our desires take the reins? Whether it's the impulse to check our phones every few minutes, the urge to eat just one more slice of cake, or the anger that bubbles up when things don't go our way, these small moments define us. In each instance, Stoicism offers a simple, yet profound question: are you in control, or are you being controlled? Self-control, for the Stoics, meant becoming a master over these daily battles. It's not about denying yourself, but about choosing what is best for you, in the long run, not in the heat of the moment. As Epictetus taught, no man is free who is not master of himself. The real challenge isn't conquering the world, it's conquering your inner empire. One way the Stoics cultivated self-control was through voluntary discomfort. By intentionally exposing themselves to discomfort, fasting, taking cold baths, or sleeping on hard surfaces, they trained their minds to detach from luxuries and to be stronger in the face of adversity. It wasn't about punishment, it was about freedom. If you can endure discomfort by choice, then you won't be enslaved by fear of it. Take this idea into modern life. Imagine setting aside your phone for an entire day or fasting from social media for a week. These are our modern luxuries, the comforts that pull our attention and sap our willpower. By practicing small acts of self-control, you build a fortress of mental strength. You learn that you don't need to react to every ping, every craving, or every impulse. What makes this lesson even more intriguing is how the Stoics viewed self-control as the gateway to inner peace. When you are in control of yourself, external events lose their power over you. You're no longer tossed around by the whims of fortune. Whether you face a difficult person, an unexpected setback, or an alluring temptation, your response is no longer driven by emotion but by virtue. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, embodied this in his life. As the ruler of one of the greatest empires in history, he had unimaginable power and could have indulged in every luxury. Yet, his writings and meditations show a man constantly striving to exercise restraint, reminding himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The beauty of Stoic self-control is that it extends to every aspect of life. It's not just about resisting temptations or controlling anger. It's about mastering your entire being, your thoughts, your actions, your desires. It's about making decisions from a place of calm deliberation rather than impulse. How can you start mastering self-control today? One practical way is through the power of delayed gratification. Whenever you feel an impulse, whether it's to check your phone, indulge in a snack, or react in anger, pause. Wait for a few moments, let the impulse pass, and ask yourself, is this action aligned with my long-term values? This simple act of reflection creates a powerful buffer between impulse and action, allowing your rational mind to guide the way. Over time, this practice builds an unshakable inner strength. You become someone who is not easily swayed by the distractions of life. Someone who doesn't react but responds. Someone who is, in the truest sense, free. And here's the real intrigue. While the world is obsessed with external power, money, status, influence, Stoics knew that the greatest power lies within. When you master self-control, you unlock the ability to shape your own destiny. You become the architect of your life, crafting it with intention, wisdom, and purpose. In the end, self-control is the art of living deliberately. It's about making each moment a choice, one that aligns with your higher self, your deeper values, and your ultimate goals. By practicing self-control, you transform not only your actions but your entire life, becoming the calm, composed, and unstoppable force that Stoicism invites you to be. Lesson 5: Stoic Acceptance, Finding Power in Letting Go. Imagine standing in the midst of a storm, the wind howling, rain lashing against your face. In that moment, you have no control over the weather, no ability to stop the chaos around you. What can you control? How you respond. Do you panic, cursing the storm? Or do you stand firm, knowing the tempest will pass, that you are strong enough to endure it? This is the core of Stoic acceptance, a powerful yet often misunderstood concept. It's not about passively resigning yourself to fate, but about actively embracing what you cannot change. The Stoics believe that true strength lies in accepting life's inevitable hardships, uncertainties, and losses without resistance. In that acceptance, you find an immense freedom. At first, this idea may seem counterintuitive. We are taught to fight, to resist, to shape our reality according to our desires. Yet, the Stoics realize that most of life is beyond our control. You can't dictate the behavior of others, the unfolding of events, or the hand of fate. What you can control, however, is how you perceive and respond to these uncontrollable forces. Consider Epictetus, born a slave in ancient Rome. Despite his lack of external freedom, he was one of the most influential Stoic philosophers. He taught that freedom isn't about external circumstances, but about mastering your mind. Some things are up to us, he said, and some things are not. This simple distinction became the Stoic compass for navigating life. What's beyond your control? Let it go. What's within your control? Act on it with wisdom and integrity. The power of Stoic acceptance is that it turns obstacles into opportunities. Imagine losing a job, facing rejection, or encountering an unforeseen illness. Instead of spiraling into frustration, self-pity, or despair, the Stoic approach is to pause and reflect. This has happened. What can I do now? It's a radical shift from being a victim of circumstance to becoming an architect of your response. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, dealt with countless challenges during his reign, from wars to plagues to personal loss. His response? In his private writings, he urged himself to welcome what you can't change. It is woven into the pattern of life. This wasn't defeatism, it was wisdom. Marcus knew that resistance to what is only leads to suffering. By accepting reality as it unfolds, he found the mental clarity to act decisively and with purpose. This kind of acceptance doesn't mean you roll over and allow life to trample you. On the contrary, Stoic acceptance is active. It's about recognizing reality, adjusting your expectations, and finding ways to navigate the challenges with grace. Acceptance gives you the mental space to respond intelligently rather than emotionally. Here's where it gets even more intriguing. Acceptance doesn't make you weak, it makes you invincible. When you stop demanding that the world conform to your desires, you can't be disappointed, angered, or hurt by its unpredictability. By accepting that you cannot control everything, you liberate yourself from the anxiety that comes with wanting things to be different. You begin to see that events in life are neutral. It's your perception of them that determines whether they are good or bad. Take the example of the Stoic metaphor of life as a play. You don't get to write the script, choose the other actors, or even control the stage. But you can control how you play your part. You can choose to perform with integrity, wisdom, and composure, no matter what scene you're in. This acceptance extends to the deepest, most existential aspects of life. The Stoics understood that death, illness, aging, and loss are inevitable. Rather than fearing these certainties or running from them, they embraced them as part of the natural order. Seneca even wrote letters to comfort himself and others about death, viewing it as a release from the burdens of life. He didn't fear death, he accepted it as a final act in the play. What makes this Stoic acceptance so powerful is that it's not about passivity. It's about reclaiming your inner power. Instead of wasting energy fighting what you cannot control, whether it's another person's behavior, a natural disaster, or the march of time, you direct your energy toward what is in your control, your thoughts, your choices, your actions. This creates a sense of calm amidst the storms of life, a stillness that can't be shaken by external chaos. Modern life offers endless opportunities to practice Stoic acceptance. Maybe it's the traffic jam that's making you late, a cancelled flight, or an unexpected bill. In each moment, the Stoic challenge is to ask, is this within my control? If not, accept it. If so, take action. The beauty of this mindset is that it brings peace. When you accept the world as it is, rather than as you wish it to be, you live without the constant frustration of unmet expectations. You become fluid, adaptable, like water that shapes itself to the contours of its environment. Instead of seeing obstacles as threats, you see them as part of the journey, opportunities to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Stoic acceptance is a form of mental alchemy, transforming life's inevitable struggles into sources of strength. It's about letting go of the need to control everything and finding peace in your ability to control yourself. In this surrender to what is, you paradoxically discover your greatest power, the power to navigate life with clarity, composure, and unshakable resolve. So, The next time you face a challenge, a disappointment, or an unexpected turn of events, remember the Stoic wisdom: accept what you cannot change. Focus on what you can. In that space between acceptance and action lies the true power to shape your life. Lesson 6: Emotional Agility: Mastering the Art of Emotional Navigation. Imagine you're on a tightrope strung high above a bustling city. The wind gusts, and below, the ground seems a dizzying blur. As you inch forward, every step requires balance, focus, and adaptability. This tightrope is much like the journey of emotional agility, a delicate art of mastering your emotional responses in the ever-changing landscape of life. Emotional agility is the capacity to remain flexible and resilient in the face of emotional turbulence. It's not about suppressing or ignoring your emotions, but rather about skillfully navigating them without letting them hijack your decision-making process or define your actions. For Stoics, this agility is akin to having an inner compass that guides you through emotional storms, keeping you aligned with your values and purpose. Here's where it gets fascinating. Emotional agility is less about controlling your emotions and more about changing your relationship with them. Imagine emotions as weather patterns. They come and go, sometimes fiercely, sometimes gently. Instead of battling the storm or waiting for it to pass, emotional agility teaches you to observe the weather, understand its patterns, and adjust your course accordingly. Consider the Stoic practice of distancing yourself from immediate emotional reactions. When faced with a strong emotion, instead of reacting impulsively, you create a moment of pause. This pause is your golden opportunity to reflect and choose how to respond. Think of it as a mental, slow motion button that allows you to assess the situation with clarity rather than being swept away by the current. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, often wrote about the importance of maintaining a composed mind amidst chaos. In his meditations, he reflects on how to keep his thoughts focused on what is rational and virtuous, even when faced with anger, frustration, or sorrow. He understood that while we cannot always control our initial emotional reactions, we can control how we act upon them. Imagine you're having a heated argument with a friend. Your immediate impulse might be to defend yourself aggressively or retreat in anger. Emotional agility would prompt you to pause, acknowledge your feelings, and then choose a response that aligns with your deeper values, perhaps a calm discussion or a thoughtful silence. This practice prevents your emotions from dictating your actions and helps you respond with reason and empathy. Another intriguing aspect of emotional agility is reframing. This technique involves shifting your perspective on a situation to alter your emotional experience. For instance, if you're feeling stressed about a work deadline, reframing might involve viewing the challenge as an opportunity to showcase your skills and growth, rather than as an overwhelming burden. This shift in perspective can turn anxiety into motivation and frustration into focus. Engaging in small, controlled challenges can also build emotional resilience. Think of these as training exercises for your emotional agility. Activities like public speaking, physical endurance tests, or tackling difficult tasks help you practice staying calm and composed under pressure. Over time, these small victories accumulate, enhancing your ability to handle more significant emotional challenges with grace and poise. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of understanding what is within our control and what is not. He taught that while we cannot control the arrival of emotions, we can control our responses to them. This perspective helps us view emotions as transient and manageable, rather than as insurmountable forces. Keeping a daily journal where you record your emotional responses and analyze how you handled them can be particularly enlightening. Reflect on moments where you reacted impulsively versus times when you paused and responded thoughtfully. This practice can reveal patterns in your emotional responses and highlight areas where you can improve your agility. Meditation and mindfulness practices can further enhance your emotional agility by helping you observe your thoughts and feelings without becoming entangled in them. Regular practice can create a state of inner calm that allows you to navigate emotional upheavals with greater ease. The beauty of emotional agility lies in its ability to transform your relationship with your emotions. Instead of being controlled by them, you become the master of your emotional landscape. You learn to recognize emotions as signals rather than dictates, guiding you to act in alignment with your values rather than being swayed by transient feelings. In essence, emotional agility is about dancing with your emotions rather than fighting them. It's about understanding their rhythm, adapting to their changes, and using them to guide you rather than overwhelm you. As you develop this skill, you'll find yourself moving through life with greater ease, balance, and effectiveness, responding to challenges with a calm and deliberate presence that aligns with your deepest self. So, the next time you face an emotional storm, remember, you're not merely weathering it, you're learning to navigate it with grace and agility. Each step on your emotional tightrope, each moment of reflection and reframing, brings you closer to mastering the art of emotional resilience and living a life of purposeful, balanced action. Lesson 7: The Art of Detachment, Mastering the Power of Emotional Freedom. Picture yourself as an astronaut floating in the vastness of space, untethered from the gravitational pull of a distant planet. From this serene vantage point, the planet's chaos, its storms, its tumult, is visible, but it doesn't pull you in. You observe, understand, and yet remain untouched by its force. This is the essence of detachment in Stoic philosophy. A profound ability to remain emotionally uninfluenced by external events, thereby maintaining inner peace and rationality. Detachment is not about withdrawing from life or becoming indifferent. Rather, it's about mastering the art of observing without being overwhelmed. It's like watching a dramatic movie unfold without letting it disturb your composure. The Stoics taught that while we can't control external events, we can control our reactions to them. Detachment is the key to this control, enabling us to engage with life fully while remaining anchored in our inner tranquility. Imagine you're in the middle of a heated debate with a colleague. Your emotions might surge: anger, frustration, perhaps even resentment. Instead of being swept away by these feelings, detachment allows you to step back, observe the situation from a neutral perspective, and decide how to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Here's where it gets fascinating. Detachment can transform your relationship with emotional triggers. Think of it as creating a mental buffer zone between you and your reactions. When you experience a strong emotion, such as anger or sadness, detachment enables you to pause, observe the emotion without judgment, and choose how to act based on reason rather than reflex. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, often practiced this form of detachment. In his meditations, he reflects on how to maintain a composed mind amidst the turbulence of his role. He understood that the disturbance of external events was often magnified by our own emotional reactions. By practicing detachment, he could navigate the chaos of his imperial duties with greater equanimity and wisdom. One practical exercise in detachment is to view situations from a third-party perspective. Imagine you're an impartial observer or a wise friend advising someone else in your situation. This exercise helps you see the events more objectively, reducing the emotional charge and enabling a more reasoned response. Another intriguing technique is the view from above. This Stoic practice involves imagining yourself looking down from a great height, seeing your life and its events as part of a larger, more universal picture. By gaining this broader perspective, you can see the transient nature of individual events and reduce their emotional impact on you. It's like seeing the forest for the trees, recognizing that the difficulties you face are but small parts of a grander scheme. Detachment also involves mindfully accepting what is beyond your control. Imagine you're playing a game where you can only control your moves, not the game's outcome. When you accept this fact, you focus your energy on playing your best rather than stressing over results you can't influence. Similarly, by accepting that you can't control external events, you free yourself from the frustration of trying to change what's beyond your reach. Another powerful practice is emotional distancing. When faced with a strong emotion, take a moment to acknowledge it and remind yourself that this emotion, like a passing weather pattern, does not define you. Ask yourself, what would someone I respect do in this situation? This question helps you respond from a place of virtue and rationality rather than being dictated by your immediate emotional state. Keeping a daily journal where you reflect on instances where you felt emotionally overwhelmed can be particularly enlightening. Write about the situation, your initial emotional reaction, and how detachment could have altered your response. This practice helps you recognize patterns and develop greater control over your emotional responses. Epictetus, another prominent Stoic philosopher, emphasized that our disturbance comes not from events themselves but from our perceptions of them. He taught that by changing our perspective, we can achieve emotional freedom and maintain inner calm regardless of external circumstances. This teaching is a cornerstone of detachment, highlighting that our responses, not the events themselves, are where our power lies. In essence, detachment is about separating yourself from the immediate grip of emotions and viewing life's events with clarity and reason. It's about finding the space between stimulus and response, where you can choose to act in alignment with your values rather than being swayed by transient feelings. By practicing detachment, you learn to engage with life's challenges and joys without being overwhelmed. It allows you to experience the full spectrum of human emotions while remaining anchored in your rational self. It's not about denying your emotions but about mastering the art of observing and responding to them in a way that preserves your inner peace and aligns with your deeper purpose. So, the next time you find yourself caught in the whirlwind of strong emotions or external pressures, remember, you are the astronaut in the vast expanse of your inner universe. Detachment is your skill to navigate the cosmic dance of life with grace, maintaining clarity and composure no matter how turbulent the external forces may be. Lesson 8. The virtue of perseverance, turning obstacles into triumphs. Imagine you're a sculptor chiseling away at a block of marble. Each strike of your chisel might seem inconsequential, a small effort in the grand scheme of creating a masterpiece. Yet, with relentless perseverance, those tiny chips gradually reveal the form of a stunning statue hidden within the stone. This is the essence of perseverance in Stoic philosophy, a steadfast commitment to your goals and values, even in the face of adversity. Perseverance isn't just about stubbornly pushing through difficulties. It's about doing so with purpose, resilience, and an unwavering focus on the end goal. It's the relentless spirit of a marathon runner pushing through the last grueling miles, or a writer crafting a novel despite countless revisions and rejections. Stoicism teaches that true success is built not on the absence of obstacles but on the ability to overcome them with a resolute heart. Consider this. Life is like a grand adventure where you're the hero navigating through a series of trials. Some challenges are predictable, like crossing a river, while others might appear as sudden storms or treacherous terrain. Perseverance is your hero's shield, protecting you against despair and fatigue, and guiding you towards your quest's ultimate reward. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, provides a powerful example of perseverance. In his meditations, he reflects on the necessity of facing daily struggles with unwavering resolve. Despite the immense pressures and challenges of ruling an empire, Aurelius remained committed to his principles of virtue and wisdom. His writings are a testament to the fact that perseverance involves not just enduring hardship, but using it as a means to strengthen character and fulfill one's duties. To truly grasp the power of perseverance, visualize a river carving its way through a canyon. The river persists, flowing continuously, shaping the landscape over time. This persistence, despite obstacles like rocks and sediment, creates something beautiful and enduring. Similarly, perseverance allows you to navigate life's obstacles with grace, transforming challenges into opportunities for growth and achievement. Here are some intriguing ways to embrace the virtue of perseverance in your own life. Break down giants. Imagine your long-term goals as massive boulders. To move them, you must break them down into manageable chunks. Just as a sculptor gradually reveals the form within the marble, you should divide your goals into smaller tasks. This approach makes the journey less daunting and keeps you motivated as you achieve incremental successes. Adopt the grit mindset. Perseverance is closely tied to grit, which combines passion and persistence. Cultivate grit by staying connected to your deeper values and the reasons behind your goals. When you're deeply invested in the why of your journey, it fuels your determination to keep going, even when progress seems slow. Use setbacks as fuel. Think of setbacks not as barriers but as the very fuel that propels you forward. When you encounter difficulties, see them as opportunities to refine your approach and strengthen your resolve. Each challenge is a chance to adapt, learn, and grow stronger. Daily reflections. Reflect daily on your progress. Celebrate your small victories and acknowledge areas where you've faced challenges. This reflective practice helps you adjust your strategies and reinforces your commitment to persevere. Embrace routine challenges. Introduce small, daily challenges that require perseverance, such as sticking to a new exercise routine or mastering a new skill. These small tests build your endurance and make it easier to tackle larger obstacles when they arise. Surround yourself with allies, join a community, or surround yourself with individuals who share your goals or have overcome similar challenges. Their support, encouragement, and shared experiences can provide the motivation needed to keep pushing forward. Keep Stoic wisdom close. Marcus Aurelius's insights, such as, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way," serve as powerful reminders of the role of obstacles in our journey. Keep such quotes handy to inspire and guide you through tough times. Perseverance is about more than just enduring. It's about transforming adversity into a path of achievement and growth. By embracing this virtue, you become the sculptor of your own destiny, chiseling away at the obstacles to reveal a life of purpose and fulfillment. So, as you face your own challenges, remember, each effort, each setback, and each moment of persistence shapes the grand masterpiece of your life. With unwavering perseverance, you can turn the raw marble of your ambitions into a triumph of achievement and virtue. As you navigate the complexities of life, remember that Stoicism is more than a mere philosophy of the mind, it's a profound discipline of the heart and spirit. It calls for a life where virtues are not just ideals but lived realities through every action. Let the lessons you've learned guide you in cultivating wisdom and courage. May these principles empower you to face life's challenges with tranquility and grace, as you continue to grow and embody the virtues that define a life well lived.